past few months, we've had the opportunity to experience Walt Disney World without fast passes, and it begs the question, is Disney better now without fast passes, or was it better before with fast passes? There is definitely advantages and disadvantages both ways you look. Today we're going to go over the reasons why we should have it, or maybe why we shouldn't have it, and I'm also going to give you a few of my thoughts. The Disney Fastpass Plus system was introduced at Walt Disney World in 1999. It was meant as a way for you to kind of pre-plan some of those things that you really wanted to do, and hopefully reduce some of those crowds who are waiting in those long lines. Over the last 22 years, hard to imagine, we've had all sorts of strategies about which fast passes to get first on which day, and which day's better for certain fast passes, and don't go to Magic Kingdom on that day, go on this day. We've had those strategies. We've been thinking about it for a while, but maybe it's time to rethink how we go to Disney. When FastPass got started, it looked very different than how it looks today. Way back when, and not that many years ago actually, they used the paper FastPass system where you had the opportunity to go to that attraction, insert your annual pass or ticket for the day, and then print out one of these FastPass cards. These are authentic, by the way. You could go, you return this to the cast member, and then you're able to ride between those times, so 7:25 p.m. and 8:25 p.m. This was 2016, shortly before everything changed. I have some from 2015, and there's one right there from 2012. Look at that one right there. That is an older FastPass. During the paper FastPass period, I remember my brother or I would have everyone's ticket in our hand, and we would go first. Like my grandmother was there, everybody was there having a great time. We would rush off, and David or I would go first. We'd insert our tickets, we'd go off Space Mountain, insert our tickets, and get everyone's FastPass time. It was great fun. Then the system changed, and you're able to do everything online. Nowadays, we use our smartphone to book all the reservations and FastPasses of the past. Lots of fun, very easy to do, and more often than not, there were a few extra reservations available during the day you were there. Not Christmas week, but most other times of year. For those who love to pre-plan their trips, this was an essential piece of your Disney vacation, and this gets to our advantages for having FastPasses at Walt Disney World. If you're a planner, FastPass is critical. It made your entire experience so much simpler because you could basically, and I know I've done this, Excel document where you've got the times and okay, I got to book on this day for this park and this attraction. I've done it. I have done it. Many of those who love planning will create spreadsheets like this or Word documents and then book all those reservations on the day that it's time for you to book, and then when you get there, everything is pre-reserved, you're set to go. On the flip side of this, if you're not a planner, it means that when you get there, some of those key fast passes, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Space Mountain, and others have already been taken by those who like to plan, so maybe you kind of need to be a planner to go to Disney. This is an argument for the Max Pass system that they have over at Disneyland, because Fast Pass, Walt Disney World, you make these reservations months or weeks in advance. Max Pass, it's same day, so it's very different. Perhaps we'll see something like Max Pass in the future, but it's two very different systems to create a magical experience. Another advantage to using FastPass Plus at Walt Disney World and to keep it around is the limited time that we all have on vacation. Let's say you're here for 3 days, 4 days, even 7 or 8 days. You have to think about every single moment of your trip. Yes, relaxing by the pool is very important, but to make the use of every moment, perhaps having those reservations where you don't have to stand in the 2-hour line, you can stand in a 15-minute line, work to your advantage. This gives you more time at the resort or doing anything that you want to do at Walt Disney World, just eating, taking pictures, just gives you more of that flexibility and less time waiting in line. Thinking about some of those reasons against FastPass Plus, we have to envision, kind of sitting back, relaxing, and enjoying the day without pre-planning. So if you're not a planner, you do not like to plan in advance, you just like to be spontaneous, then you are hoping that FastPass changes in the future and this says, oh no more FastPass at all, we're just gonna have everyone just go around and enjoy your day. And some would say this is actually going to reduce the lines all around the parks. Not sure if that's true or not. I do not know. I'm not a crowd analysis. I have no idea. But it could. It has the potential to do that. I'm not sure. Maybe. Let me know what you think, but it's possible. Another reason against FastPass Plus is the fact that we're all looking at our phones all the time now whenever we're in the parks. Yes, I know social media and all these other things cause us to look at our phones while we're at Walt Disney World, but being able to appreciate every small detail around the parks and not saying, oh, I've got a fast pass, I got what, you know what I mean? That's something that I think, would be great not to have anymore. That would be fantastic. Just go and maybe maybe use something else that can make the Fastpass for us. This brings us to the Genie app. We spoke about it previously. The Genie app was Disney's original idea to make Fastpass reservations and other reservations around Disney easier for the entire family. Imagine an automated system that just kind of makes those reservations for you depending on what you like. It sounds like the perfect world, it really does, and I do think that Disney will still go through with the Genie app or something like it in the future just to make things easier, but that doesn't mean that Fastpass as it was will return forever and ever. Eventually it will change. Now that thought brings up the idea of crowd control. Again, thinking about how many people want to experience these e-ticket or top tier attractions around Walt Disney World. And you think about Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, right? When it first opened, it was 2 hours, 3 hours. It was extremely long all the time, and it's still a very long line for that attraction, but over time, it's gotten a little bit easier and easier and easier. The wait time has gone down over time because guests walk into the park and they say, where do we want to go today? They say, oh, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, but we went on that last time. Let's head over in this direction instead. So you never know when something like that's gonna change, but over time, all attraction wait times go down. Now, where are we thinking about this? Well, Disney is building more top tier attractions than ever before, and you think about attractions like Tron, which will be opening soon, and how that's going to impact the crowds around Magic Kingdom. Then we think about other attractions which have opened recently, which are good examples. Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway. We saw that open, and then crowds from all around Hollywood Studios seem to shift quite a bit. Then we've got a bit of a change as we think about Rise of the Resistance. Disney knew Rise of the Resistance would be an outstanding attraction even before it opened, which is why we have the virtual reservation system or virtual queue. So you make that reservation on your phone so you don't have to stand in a 5-hour wait as crowds get more intense around Walt Disney World. I believe that the virtual queuing system that we have now, and we'll definitely see at other attractions around Walt Disney World and Disneyland, think about Web Slingers at Avengers Campus, we're going to be seeing more of that all around Walt Disney World. It's Disney's way of just saying, okay, we've got another way for you to experience the parks. You can just use the virtual queue and then you don't have to have a Fastpass. We haven't had a Fastpass for other attractions around Hollywood Studios and the lines haven't been that intense. Yes, the crowds are reduced right now, right? Not as many people going in, but even before the shutdown and closure of the parks, we saw lower lines around Hollywood Studios. Having the virtual queuing system is effective, but there's one thing that keeps coming up. I talked to friends in the parks, we're talking about this, and that feeling of, oh my gosh, I gotta get up at 7 a.m., 6:55 a.m., I gotta make that reservation. It's that planning, that feeling of, oh my gosh, I've got to do this, I have to make this happen. And Disney, at least as I know them, want to reduce that feeling as much as possible. So yes, the reservation system and the virtual queuing system is great. It really is. Fastpass is great. But having, again, that app, think of the Disney Genie app, which does it for you. You just say, okay, I want to go on Rise the Resistance. And instead of having to wake up at 6:55 in the morning, it just says, okay, I'll give it to you on one day of your trip, the Hollywood Studios day. You'll have the opportunity to ride it. You don't have to wake up early. Imagine if they did that. Disney's always changing, always evolving, always trying to make the experience more magical, and I think that's one way that they can do it. There are plenty of other examples that we could use all around the Orlando area in terms of alternatives to the Fastpass system. Think of the Tapu Tapu at Volcano Bay. You go up, you tap this wristband, imagine they use the Magic Band or something like it around Walt Disney World, and you get that virtual queue. You can think of Fastpass of the past, right? Those tickets, basically the same thing, but now you have one of those passes, you go on other attractions, and you come back later in the day. Now, we don't know what Disney's going to do in the future, but I think that there will be at least some small changes coming soon to the Fastpass Plus system. No matter what the future holds, I have no doubt that Disney's going to do everything they can to try and make it as magical an experience as possible with the lowest wait times possible. It's a tough balance, it really is. I personally hope that Fastpass Plus returns, but maybe with some modifications, some changes to make it simpler for everyone to use. Those are a few of the advantages and disadvantages and reasons why and why not. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you want to see Fastpass Plus return in the exact same way? Something totally different, or maybe no more Fastpasses at all for you? Love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for being a part of the magic with me today. Until next time, have a magical day.